So I have been in the make money online industry, or I've been looking into ways of making money online for almost the past 10 years of my life. Pretty much every single day, well, most days outside of work, whenever I would come home and I would have some free time, I would invest a lot of that time from the time that I was just 19 years old, fresh out of high school, and I would look into different ways of making money online. And so I knew very early on that that was probably going to be the best thing that I could do if I wanted to create, stability for myself, more freedom, more flexibility, but also be in a position where I could spend more time with family without having to ask permission for days off, and also have the flexibility of traveling more often and doing that without having to check the bank balance or have to borrow money for like cash advances and stuff. And I believe ultimately for the average everyday person, that is going to be the best path you can go with, is figuring out a way to make an income online, because everything else that I've seen out there, as far as well, for one, going into university is a complete waste of time and money. You're going to end up six figures in debt. And then, of course, most jobs are barely paying anything to keep up with inflation. So I'm a strong believer that it's not that jobs aren't paying that much. It's just the fact that cost of living needs to come down more than anything else. So there's that. And then also, maybe you decide to go into like a trade, or you work in a warehouse job. Maybe that pays a little bit more and you're making some decent money with that. However, the problem is you're going to be doing a ton of physical labor, which is going to take a toll on your body in the long run. And then you're just going to be working endlessly, basically. So ultimately, the best thing that you could do if you are a young American right now, especially if you're a young guy, you're entering the workforce, and you want to have that traditional lifestyle. You want to get married, you want to have kids, you want to like really do your best to replicate what your parents or grandparents did, then ultimately the best thing that you could do is enter the digital economy and find ways to make money online. Now, that being said, what is the best way that you could make an income online that is, I believe, even like the dumbest people out there can do, right? So just for context, I don't consider myself intelligent or smart by any means. I'm just an average guy that has just chosen to hyper focus on making money online. And so I've looked into many different business models out there, many different methods of making money, of marketing and copywriting and AI and all this stuff. And I believe that the simplest approach is going to be, and this is almost applicable to any like online business model you look into, is going to be figuring out a way to generate attention online. So whether you decide to start a Shopify store, or you publish books on the Amazon platform, you do like Kindle publishing or something like that, or you develop an app that you don't develop like a mobile app with like AI or something, which I know a lot of people are doing and are doing very well with, or maybe you just decide that you want to sell digital products. You want to promote, courses and ebooks, which, there's a huge earning potential for that. And that's kind of what I tend to do. Or maybe you just decide to do something like TikTok Shop, which I know is also very popular, right? So all of these things have a really good earning potential, but you need traffic in order to make money with all of them, right? You need to get in front of people. If you, for example, have this amazing product and you're like, okay, let's say that you're an expert when it comes to gaining a six pack, right? You go to the gym a lot, you work out consistently, you've got the really nice body shape that people want, but you have this course that you've put together that teaches people how to do everything that you've learned. Teaches everyone about like the specific meals to eat, and then like the exact workouts, like which workouts are the best. You have everything packaged together, and it's like this amazing program that people are going to get results with. Well, you can have all of that in place, but if you don't understand how to get traffic, if you don't understand how to get eyeballs to whatever you're doing, then you're not going to make any money. So ultimately, the best thing that you could do, the simplest thing that you could do, is going to be creating content online. And the benefit is you don't have to show your face online like a lot of people claim that you do. There are many more ways that you can create content and still get a ton of visibility, depending on, well, it'll of course depend on the type of the industry you're going into. It'll depend on the the audience that you're getting in front of. But what I would of course recommend is you want to go on YouTube, go on TikTok, wherever you consume a lot of content, and you just want to look at who are your most watched, creators. Like, who do you follow that you resonate with? What type of content are you interested in yourself? And just ask yourself the question, can I replicate what this other creator is doing, right? So maybe you follow a few, gaming channels, right? Maybe you're interested in video games and you see people talking about like handheld devices, right? Like, you have these emulation devices and you see people talking about reviews and stuff, and they promote the products in their description and all that. Can you see yourself replicating those types of videos? And so, one example I'll give for that is maybe you have a product review channel. You're reviewing physical items, but maybe you don't show your face in the video. You just have the camera pointed down at the table and you have the product and you're showing it on camera. And so that could be a very simple way that you get in front of people, is by posting content online. And so yes, there is the option of running paid ads if you want to promote a course or something like that. But ultimately, the simplest and safest approach for most people, unless if you happen to have $10,000 that you can spare, which for most people that's not the case, then the simplest approach is going to be getting organic traffic online. And that's going to be by posting content. So really, the benefit is when it comes to doing free marketing like this, there is a lot more trust built up before they check out the offer. So for example, if you run paid ads, right? You run Facebook ads, or you run ads on YouTube or on TikTok, any of these platforms really. The problem is you're getting in front of people who, for the most part, don't know who you are, unless if you're doing retargeting ads or something like that, which that's a bit more advanced. But for the most part, you're going to be getting in front of people. You're going to target them based off of their interests, like who they follow online, what websites that they visited. Well, you don't exactly know for sure if that traffic's going to convert because they've not seen you before. And so when it comes to building a brand online, posting content, then the main benefit is the fact that you're going to build up an audience. It won't be fast. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to be willing to invest, a couple months into it at the very least before you start to see anything take off. But once you see videos taking off and people start to follow you, they enjoy your content of what you're putting out there, they're interacting, and then they check out, the product that the product you're recommending. Well, by the time that they have landed on that website or whatever page that they go to buy, the product that you're recommending, they've already known who you are. There's already a ton of rapport built up, and the conversion rate with organic traffic is always going to be higher compared to running paid ads. So yes, paid ads sounds very quick. It sounds easy. You could just, you could invest money and you could pay someone to market for you. But unless if you have the budget for that and you really know what you're doing, then that's ultimately it's going to be very difficult to, of course, get in profit with that. And so, not to mention, when it comes to running paid ads, you have to also take into consideration the profit margins that you get, per sale that you get after running ads, what is the, margins that you're getting. So if you're promoting something that is more high ticket, where you make $1,000 a pop, then it can maybe be worth it. But if you're doing something like, Shopify, or you have a $10 app, well, you're going to need to do a ton of volume to really make it worth it. So that is the reason why that content creation is so powerful. And once you have, let's say that you post, 100 videos in, the span of a year, or let's say that you post 300 videos and maybe only 20 of those videos pop off, right? A very small percentage of videos that you've made, most of the videos you posted don't go out there at all, but there's a small handful of videos that really pop off. Well, those few videos that you've made can make all the difference in the world, because you could have one video that maybe just goes crazy for whatever reason, gets you 50,000 views or 100,000 views, and that one video can generate a ton of traffic to your link, which can be very powerful. So that being said, if you want to learn more in depth about how to do this and how to make money leveraging free social media, even doing faceless content online, And if you also want to see how to earn a residual or high ticket income online without having to create any products yourself, without having to deal with inventory or customer service or any of these things, and just focus on, the marketing side of things, then you could check out the training that I have linked down below. And I will show you exactly how I've been building up a residual income doing exactly this. So that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Give us a thumbs up and take care. See you in the next one.